This is the Mohsin Mortgage Program with Sarah Mohsin. Mohsin Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mohsin.
Happy Monday, folks. It's great to be back here again. And always ask the question. I'm here for you. Ask for Sarah. The number, 1-800-662-9550. Pat Ryan, how are you today?
I am terrific. Always a pleasure to have a cup of coffee with my good friend Sarah.
It's always a pleasure. Our listeners always mention you, and they have such kind words. They say that they enjoy your laughter, and you always bring us some interesting facts. You send me articles as well, so we have a good time on air, and I really look forward to it every time we tape.
And Sarah, our listeners are the reason that we all do what we do here. It's just, to bring the good Lord's word out to them, and then we're out and about, and we get to see them and talk with them, and we all just take such pleasure in that,
Absolutely. It is a time to be grateful, mindful, and obviously give back, be of service. I think it's so important, don't you?
I sure do. And, it's just funny. I was just telling a good friend this morning that very thing. It's, when you're little growing up and your mom says it's always better to give than to receive.
Yes.
And I always thought, are you kidding? I love getting things. I like my birthday and my presents and things. And my golly, as you get older and you really, really, really try to follow God's principles, it really is such a pleasure to give. It really is, and you don't do it for any reason except that you just know it's the right thing. You know that it's somebody maybe is in need, and it's just God's principles are superior to all things. And it just works so well. And of course, at this time of year, we've got 3 days to Christmas.
I know. It's
are you feeling crazy yet?
I am, but I'm also, it's really funny. I didn't mention this to you, Pat, but my very dear friend and trainer, Sarah Wernert, remember? She actually did a fit camp last weekend, and she's terrific. She's been a part of my life for 4 years, and she has done some amazing things. She's fulfilling her life's purpose. She loves what she does, and she has this fit camp, and Jeff Dugan is a producer, so it's hopefully going to be airing next year in January, her fit camp. And I wanted to mention it because I have such great deal of gratitude towards her. And the facility that we used was Lisa Troyer's facility, Fitness Fanatics, which is based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But it is such a great facility, and having all of these three great forces working together, it was such a fun and great experience, I have to say.
I bet.
I'm going to have her on air next year. I've told her that this is something I want her to share her story. She's a great fitness person, great facility. And
Sarah Warner, I've met her too, and
yes.
She is a wonderful gal too. And the way that you were sort of giving a little bio about her, as far as her fulfilling her life's purpose. Oh my goodness. When God has a purpose for us and we find it and we do it, there is no better place in this whole world to be, except with Him, and we'll all be there one day. But if we are following what God has planned for us, oh my golly, it's phenomenal. It's way better than anything we could plan ourselves.
It is, and I'll have to say, for 10 years she's been a competitor, Sarah Werner. She's done really well. We sponsored her because of the fact that she is so exceptionally talented. And I always say, you see people that everyone has a gift, and if you fulfill that purpose without, pursuing money or fame, things happen naturally, and that's so very important in life. And that's why I always support anything that's related to fitness and finance, and we try and promote and support a charity every month because it's so important to give back. There's a great deal of joy in it. And if you have questions on either Lisa Troyer's facility, Fitness Fanatics, Sarah Werner, or Jeff Dugan's production company, you can always reach me here at 1-800-662-9550. I just had to share that, Pat.
I'm glad you did. And for our family of listeners that are expecting us to talk a little bit about, financial fitness. I mean, fitness overall, which is balance overall, which is the Bible just wants us to always be in balance. But I know we were talking a little bit about what will we be expecting to pay more for in 2015, Sarah?
Well, here's the thing. Very sad for us, Pat, but, for chocoholics, the cacao crops And this is serious. The prices have gone up for dark chocolate. So the price of chocolate's going up, as well as interest rates for mortgages. And so we have to be prepared for those two shocking things. Obviously, on the financial end, we really need to pay attention to where rates are. And as we've seen since 2011, they've gone up. We had rates around 3.5 for 30-year terms. And now we're at 4.25 or 4.5, depending on the day, because the market does shift and change on a daily basis. And this is what is fascinating about finance. The fascinating part is that it's constantly moving, and rates do shift and change constantly. And I chatted about this on air with Jim Turner on the Wall Street Business Network. I'm a guest on his program. And the way it shifts is based on mortgage-backed securities. So it is literally what they're going to see in the new year is that the rates are going to start rising. And that means you're just simply going to end up paying more on the mortgage or that purchase if you're buying a home. And that simply means that typically the average household, we are licensed in 37 states. Typically the average household is spending $300 to $400 a month more than they need to on that mortgage payment because their rate is higher. And a lot of folks don't even realize that even though they've been denied on that refinance by, let's say, a retail bank, that they can get approved by us because our guidelines are simply different. So we can actually get you approved at 580 scores. We could get you approved at 50% debt to income. And if any of this is not making any sense, just chat with me privately at 1-800-662-9550 so that we can actually show you the numbers and how we can get you approved.
And just again, to our family of listeners, and we always have room for a few more good new listeners, just the reason that you may be turned down for your local bank or credit union is because that's retail, and Sarah is wholesale, and wholesale is just like anything here in our area. We have outlet stores that we'll all drive 45 minutes to get to, and you can go to these outlet stores and get that fine, Steve Madden pocketbook for the exact same beautiful product, but for sometimes a whole lot less money. And that's exactly what you are, Sarah, in comparison to the local banks and credit unions, right?
Yes. I mean, the bottom line is this. In life in general, you're going to get a no from someone, whether it's a job application or maybe a relationship or something that may come to you as a final decision. And so what I've always said, and this is what makes me so passionate about what we do, we give you options, and to not look at that no and say, well, you know what, I've been turned down on a loan or a purchase on a commercial or residential property. That is not the end of it. There is so much more to this, and it's really all about the options that we provide. We have different guidelines, and we certainly operate in, we're a family-owned business. We're not, a multi-billion-dollar corporation where there's layers and layers of bureaucracy. So, to access myself or anyone who is working on your file, it's easy. You call over the weekend, evenings. It's simple, it's transparent, and we will work to make sure that you reach that goal, whether it's a purchase or a refinance. And if you're self-employed, I know for business owners, it's a different game and it's tougher to get approved. So let me work with you and help you get to that point where you get approved and at least save as much money as you can on that mortgage.
And with that, we have to wind down for today, Monday, because Marita is telling us it's time, but that's a good place to stop. But I do want to remind our family of listeners that if you'd like more of Sarah's sage advice and wisdom, you can go to wezeradio.com, click on resources, and then click on Mohsin Mortgage, and you can find some more great information right there. And in the meantime, 24/7, you can call Sarah and the fine folks there at Mohsin Mortgage, because they have a free phone line that is answered 24/7, 1-800-662-9550.
Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mohsin Mortgage Program with Sarah Mohsin. Mohsin Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.